Hello and welcome. My name's Andy. I'm the Engagement Manager for Albany Beck Public Sector. We specialise in delivering programmes of work, whether that be in digital, data, technology, corporate services to our public sector clients. Today I'm joined by Jonathon from Human Engine, where we're going to be discussing commercialisation within local authorities. Thank you for joining us, Jonathon. How are you this morning?
Very well, thanks Andy. Pleasure to be here.
Fantastic. It's great to have you. So before we begin, could you give us a little bit more information about yourself, Human Engine, and what it is you do?
So I'm the Managing Director of Human Engine, which is a consulting and training firm that I founded last year with a number of colleagues who joined me from the public sector. One of the things that we became really passionate about was commercialisation in the sector and how a more commercial approach can help local authorities to improve the quality of public services.
So in your experience then, Jonathon, what is the most common challenge that local authorities face when looking at commercialisation?
So there are a number of different challenges, and culture is a really key one. That doesn't mean to say that staff and elected members might not be on board with the commercialisation journey, but councils were set up in a certain era to do a certain set of things, and they're now trying to adapt to the modern world and they're trying to do things differently. That doesn't just apply to commercial, it applies to the use of new technologies, it applies to embracing social media, it applies to engaging citizens in a way that they've not done so before. So it's not strictly a commercial problem. One of the issues that councils typically have is that they don't move fast enough to operate effectively in the commercial world. So decision making traditionally takes a very long time. The advice when I was working in the sector as a director that I always gave to my staff is it might take you a month or 2 months to do that piece of work, to write the business case, to finalise the report, to do the project plan. You need to leave at least that amount of time, up to twice as long, to get it through the decision making process, because the wheels of democracy famously turn slowly. That said, councils have been taking different approaches to help overcome this. So at Eastleigh Borough Council, they embarked on a commercial strategy which was all about the judicious acquisition and disposal of assets. You have to move very, very quickly in the commercial property world if you want to seize an opportunity before it disappears off the market. And they recognised that their existing governance was just not going to be swift or agile enough to do that. So they formed an executive committee, which is made up of the chief executive, the cabinet member for finance and resources, and the finance director. They have the ability to spot a property or an asset that's coming onto the market and make an offer on that property within a number of days. They then have a retrospective governance process whereby they go through all of the normal scrutiny and the mechanisms of democracy that a council would do to make an acquisition of that kind. But they've been really clear on their risk appetite. They've agreed that with the council so that there's no surprises. They're not operating outside of their bounds. They've redefined the decisions that they can take and in what time frame. So that's a really good example of being able to respond more quickly to the market whilst still embracing the key tenets of local democracy.